What's good, Wagering World? It's your boy Five Star in Vegas, and I'm broadcasting live from beautiful Summerlin, Nevada. This is the Wagering World, and I got my homie in here, man. Always a pleasure to be with my boy Raheem Palmer. What's good, Raheem? How are you today, brother?
Man, life is good, man. We got the NBA Cup tonight. We got NFL this weekend. It's just exciting time. I mean, like we headed for, I like the fact that I'm out Vegas right now because it's like 70 degrees out here. I'm used to them East Coast falls and winters, and life is just so good, man. I can't complain.
Man, I apologize to everyone in the chat for us being about 20 minutes late. That's on me. Raheem has been ready. I had a lot of stuff going on with my other businesses that I do, and it's had me caught up, man. Shout out to everyone in the chat, man. I'm glad to see everybody back. What's up, man? I appreciate it, man. My boy, hey, right here, guys, you see this name. Don't ever forget this guy. That's who taught me Vegas, man, and sports betting. It's always a pleasure to have my OG stepping in here to bless us, man. Shout out my brother Webb, man. My boy say, where you been, Five? Man, I've been minding my business. That's all I've been doing, man, trying to take care of some things. Get right, man. We'll talk about it as the show goes a little bit, man. The weirdos is messing it up for everybody, bro, and sports betting as a whole, bro. Like, yesterday I had a guy DM me, asked for a play. I told him, look, man, I just gave out a free play to Cashed Easy. I'm like, if you want some more plays, then this is my fee. If you want another play to get in with my group, because it's unfair to my guys who are giving me a fee every week in order to get access to the plays that I'm playing. And for me just to be giving them away, and I explained it to the guy, and he's got all rowdy, started talking crazy, bro, and talking about he gonna screenshot or some little weak ass kid out of Chicago. But I blocked him. But he makes it, guys like that make it bad for everyone, because bro, we don't have to do this. We step on here and spend time with you guys and chop it up with y'all because it's just pure love, man. So that's why I named the show Where's the Love, because I don't know if you guys know this or not, but anytime I step on YouTube and do a show, bro, I'm doing it just from the heart, bro. YouTube isn't giving me a check, bro. Like, I'm not getting a check from YouTube. I'm not getting a check from X like some people are. And those who are, that's great. If I was doing the same, I'd feel like I'd had an obligation to be here because it was paying some bills for me. But it's not, man. I have a mortgage to pay. I got a beautiful wife and kids to take care of. I do not have time at all to be dealing with foolishness, bro. Simple as that, and when people get to acting stupid and acting like I owe them something, man, it just makes me go the other way because I don't owe you nothing, man, and I really enjoy the guys who I do this for. It's always us versus the machine. Y'all hit that like button if you're rocking with the Wagering World. I do it for guys who mean well, man, who are just trying to get in here and learn something, become betters, bro. But then when you get these weirdos, it messes everything up, Raheem. And I know you deal with that a lot as well. Being a public figure is a better.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough just because, it's anytime you're doing anything in the public light, it's always going to be people who like you, people who dislike you, and it's going like I've figured out that it's going to be people who just watch you just to hate. Man. You know what I mean? Like they don't like nothing that you do, but they'll hate watch you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a dude. I mean, I'm not gonna shut nobody directly, but it was a dude. His whole Twitter page was just bitching about me for like a 3-year stretch. I mean, literally every day. Like, dude would be tagging Bill Simmons and tagging the Ringer and tagging. I went to University of Penn, Wharton School of Business. He'd be tagging Wharton. Like literally, like if I show you this shit, it's the craziest shit. I'm gonna text you. It's the wildest thing. Like literally for 2 years straight. It was just like his whole page was just hating on me. And it's just like, yo, you got a problem, dude. Like, and I had him blocked and he would still be doing it. And then my employer blocked him. Like, it's just people going to be weird, man. And you just, after a while, you kind of just accept it. Like at first I was kind of taken aback by it. Like when I first, really got into the public light or whatever, I'd be calling people out like, yo, you could hand me a Rumble. You could come see me. I send the dude my location. You know what I'm saying? That's how I was.
That's all we know.
But after a while, it's like, man, like it's not even worth it to entertain these dudes.
And it isn't for sure for you, Raheem, because now you have a situation, a really great situation going on with the Ringer. You have a salary, you have a career. But for me personally, as someone who's doing this for my time, it makes me like, bro, I'm from a different world. Like, I'm a dinosaur now. Guys who are in this chat that know me, like my OG Web, know who I really am, bro. And I'm not with the funny business at all, bro. Like, I'm a dude who's from around the way, bro. And we believed in giving respect and receiving respect, you know. And when someone's doing something at the time and trying to help you out, you show appreciation. I don't care if it's $2, $5. I don't care if it's just saying I appreciate it, $5 under a post. That's love. But the last thing you're gonna do is jump in my comments and jump in my DM and try to talk crazy to me because I won't give you a free play. Like, are you serious, bro? You know, like that, and that makes it bad for everyone because it's a lot of dudes who just enjoy kicking it with me and us talking sports on here. But it makes me just want to back up from that shit because I'm doing this for free, bro. I don't need this. I'm only doing this for the love. So where's the love, man? Where's the love for these 5 years, 5 stars been on here just doing shows for free with y'all, chopping up, giving out free winners? Me and Spriggs sit on here, me and Cino sit on here, give out 10 winners, you know, in one show. And dudes start stalking and start bothering and just make me say, you know what, man, I'm a pro better. Not only do I not want to be really public because I'm good at this, I don't want your energy on my plays, but also we're dealing with this new law that Trump passed too that's going to be coming down real hard on people who are making a lot of money betting. So why the hell I want to continue to put my success in people's face and share with people what I know and my knowledge that I've learned, you know, and they don't even appreciate it, you know? So dudes like that make me just kind of pull back, bro. And, you know, it's not worth it at the end of the day for me. What's better for me is having my peace, you know, because I'm going to have success. Success is a given with me. I've been successful my entire life, you know, ever since I could take care of myself. So I was 15 years old, I've been successful, bro. So success is a given with me. The problem is, man, when I'm a really nice guy, bro. I'm a really good person. I'm a person who tries to be kind to everyone, bro. And I learned the hard way through life the things that my grandfather used to always preach to me. He used to always tell me, man, nice guys finish last, son. He used to always tell me,
that's real.
No good deed goes unpunished. You know, like the more you do good for people, the more you're going to put yourself in a situation where they take advantage of you and take your kindness for weakness. And we got so many trolls now that's on X, so many guys who are just pitiful. You're hiding behind a PFP, you know, and you're saying crazy stuff to people. And, bro, I just don't have time for that negative energy. I'm a real positive person, bro. And so that's why I've been gone for the last couple of weeks, because I really wasn't going to do it again. If it wasn't for you and I chopping it up and deciding that we want to do a show, I wasn't going to really do it. And Ski is one of my best friends in the world. Jay Money is my real homie. I haven't been on that show in 2 weeks. And their groups are actually a really good community of people, man. All their people are real, man. I only got into it with like one guy to both those communities over doing those shows for 3 years. So I love those dudes. It's just, man, I'm just pulling back. You know, like I'm going to try to keep my sanctity. But right now, it's all good. We're here. We're back on the wagering world. You know, we're going to make this a great time, and hopefully we get a chance to do some more shows, man, when time permits. Let's get straight to the show, man. We got to talk about is two guys who been in the game forever, okay? Let's talk about the state of sports betting in America, Raheem. Things are nothing like how it was when we both started in this game many years ago. What's your opinion on everything that's going on right now, man? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a tough market at this point in time. I think we've gotten to the point now where, you know, it's sports betting has become mainstream. Like obviously in the past, you kind of had to seek this out. You either had to go to Vegas, where we are now, or you had to go to a local bookie, or you had to bet offshore. And it's become mainstream to the point where now everybody is betting, but it's not the type of betting we were doing. I mean, obviously we play straight bets. Now, the biggest thing now is that everybody wants to put together their same game parlay. And for the younger generation, same game parlays that's what betting is for people. You know, you go to, and you know, I started off at Delaware Park, you know, where they had the parlays. But if you go to any, you know, sports book on the East Coast and you stand in line, there's a guy there putting together their parlay, and it's a 17 parlay, it's an 18 parlay, and you waiting in line. And that's what sports betting is now. So
we call that, look, me and my boy call that a grocery list. And he actually sells them now. Shout out my homie Dame. Dame the gambling god, man. So when I was doing other things that I was caught up in the streets, man, like ridiculous. And I was just to start coming to Vegas, but I was dealing with a case I was dealing with, man, back in Houston, right? And I had to come up with 50 grand for my attorney that Monday. So I'm like, man, I got it, but if I got it, I'm gonna be on my ass after I pay this. I'm about to take 10 bands and go to Vegas and make something shake, right? Yeah. So I get on the flight. I land about 9 a.m. Sunday morning. I'm running, bags still in my head and everything. And I run to at the Wynn and I yell at Doug, like, Doug, come help me, man. Come help me. So they let me skip the long line and I started making the bet. My boy Dame was beside me. He's like, what's up, brother? Good to see you. And I'm just naming off teams. And I've always been straight bets or at the max 2-team parlays. And he just was laughing. He was like, man, what are you doing? You making a grocery list? And I was like, bro, I gotta get it right now, right? I'm like, I gotta pay for this attorney, man. I gotta get this 50 racks, and I don't want to dig in my little box because if I dig in my box, it's gonna be real hollow after I grab this 50 out of there. So I ended up betting. I remember the only game that I lost was Carolina on it. I put like 6 teams on their money line, and the only one I lost was Minnesota lost to Carolina, and I'll talk to you about off air about what my theory was on the game, man. He laughed at me so hard that we still talk about that and laugh about that. But as you said, like, that's all it is now. It's a bunch of people who are geeking. Like, they're geeking. They're trying to turn a little bit into a lot. And sports betting isn't like that, man. Sports betting was initially created for gangsters and gentlemen. Simple as that. It was gentlemen of leisure who had money and like to, have great times. And, your word was everything you had. So if you called the bet, you had to pay it. And for gangsters, gangsters ran the books, and people don't understand that the people who are from that world have a lot more respect than the regular common man if you're not from that world, man. I learned it the hard way when I started doing real estate, and people started running off with 100 grand on me and saying, oh, man, the deal just bellied up. And I'm trying to go find them. And the girl I was dealing with at the time was a realtor. It's like, you can't do that, man. They're going to call the police on you. Like, you can't be threatening people, right? But I'm from the world where you can't do that type of stuff. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. If I don't, then I got to come with that money, So, yeah, man, it's just been a lot changed in this betting game, man. When we first started, it was no squares, and that's why I always talked about on this show. Shout out, brother. I love all of y'all too, man. I appreciate you. I started this on this show many years ago talking about access to betting is going to destroy betting. And I know a lot of people probably was like, why is 5-Star hating? I want to be able to bet here in Jersey. I want to be able to bet in Kansas, in Iowa, So I was like, man, don't you guys understand that with access to betting now, Joe Blow can tell his sister to go make a bet under the other name, and it's going to taint and tamper these games more and more. And now we're not getting pure value on these games because you don't know who's working. You don't know who's who. Perfect example of that. They haven't been talking about it as much, but I talked about it here on the show. Iowa State scandal. Hunter Dickers was the starting quarterback for Iowa State, brother. Nobody has talked much about this. They've talked about, made sure to talk about, all of the homies, Chauncey Billups. They made sure to talk about the homie Damon Jones. They made sure to talk about all of them. They haven't mentioned this kid one time. His own mother was making bets for him, Raheem.
That's crazy.
On their own games. And for some reason, Matt Campbell still has his job at Iowa State.
Damn, I had no idea that was happening.
Oh, was it? Listen, bro, 5 Iowa State coaching staff members were found to have placed over 6,200 bets, totaling more than 100 grand. Guess what happened to the coaches, Raheem? The implicated coaches only faced a 1-year show of cause order.
Wow.
So the NCAA just pretty much had a little sit down with them, and have all these other guys all on national TV parading them around. So that's been going on, man. And he's not the only one because he bet 279 times, bro. 2,799 times.
That's crazy.
Different games involving Iowa, bro. And so that happened. And then another kid, Aaron Eulis, was an Iowa basketball player. He got caught up. He placed about 1,850 bets, 740 of them before he turned 21, totaling $34,900, and they were on all events involving Iowa. So it was all inside information. Then you go back to yesterday. Did you see about the mafia thing they got going on where they indicted the kids in New Jersey that were student athletes? They were working for the mob, and I guess they were the student athletes that were playing on the different teams were running books. This has been going on forever. Like this isn't nothing new to us, but the access to betting has made it where now it's a public thing. And now you got way too many squares, trying to do what people who only was sharp was doing, man. And that's the whole situation with this stuff. And then you got the NFL's greedy, NBA greedy. So they followed the Euro League sports. We both bet a little Euro League. They've been marketing betting overseas. You could sit at the game while it's going on and bet. But America's not the same type of environment as it is in Europe. It's a whole different type of character. It's a whole different type of mind state in America, and greed continues to take over, man.
Yes, it's pretty bad. I mean, I think obviously these gambling scandals have always taken place, and I do think the legalization has allowed us to catch these people a lot easier. But I also think it's created monsters. Like you said, I think now everybody feels like there's an opportunity. And some of these people who think there's an opportunity, and they're not the most sophisticated. You know what I mean? So it's like you look at these guys who try to fix a game, and I'm like, the first thing in my head, if I was to fix a game, the first thing I would do was bet the wrong size of the game.
Right.
That is the absolute first thing I would do. If I'm like, and I wouldn't be even trying to fix player props or nothing like that. But if I was to like have some inside information on the game, I would come right out from my account and I would bet the wrong game.
Right.
And then I'd have people betting, offshore or betting with, just underground bookies. And I'd have them betting the right side. So it's like you don't even know where it's coming from. But now it's just no sophistication in a lot of these moves. It's just people out here, just being greedy. And it's obvious. If you're going to bet a player prop at a regulated book on an obscure person and you betting thousands of dollars, it's obvious something's going on and you're going to get caught. So it's crazy, man.
I've had guys even approach me. For instance, I had one guy he's a prominent, when I say this guy's a prominent coach in tennis, like everyone knows him. He has a buddy who's a friend of mine who was like, hey, your boy, he's doing all this stuff with the betting. Tell him we could get him information about the tennis. I said, hell no, get the hell away from me, because I don't want them to ever think that I took part in anything like that, because now you're going to take all the success and all the hard work I've done over the years and turn it into a scandal and say that it was all fraud, and it wasn't, just because one moment I decided to be greedy. I'd never bet sports illegally, bro. And the reason why I wouldn't ever do it like that or want to fix it, because that's the whole part of it. It's a thrill to me, is figuring these books out, beating the books. That's what's a thrill to me, is figuring out. That's why a real sports bettor only wants a fair game. That's why I'm so, people like, man, I know when they're watching the game with me, if I got a lot of money on, they're like, man, 5 stars going crazy on this X, because I'm really just trying to put it out in the air so people know, are you watching what's going on? You see what this ref's doing? You see what this receiver's doing? And I come from that world with betting sports, because what Vegas did when Vegas was in full control of sports betting, they're calling. If they see somebody on some nonsense, they're about to call the league on them and let them know, hey, man, this guy that you guys have on this team is doing this. We're seeing a pattern, and it get cleaned up quick, because Vegas, this whole thing was always big. They only wanted to get action on both sides. And then now they've had to change their model to catch up with all of these New Jersey Cowboys. That's what I call it, the wild.
I got to push back on them wanting to get action on both sides, because I think
Vegas did.
No, hear me out. I got to push back on that. So when you look at a lot of these sports books, right? When we bet, right? When we're betting on a straight bet, we're laying 110, right?
Right.
Because we're laying 110, we got to break even 52.38% of the time. Right. Now, the sports books, they're not laying 110. they're catching plus 110. So they can gamble a little bit.
Right.
So what you have with the sports books is they don't have to break even 58.38% of the time. They got to break even 47.6% of the time. So they can say, you know what? Look, what's a public game this weekend in the NFL?
Probably Rams and Seahawks, which we'll talk about a little bit later.
I think, man, I don't know about that one because I think you're gonna get some even action on that one.
What you saying? Public, you mean a one-sided affair?
Yeah. All right. Here's a public game. A public game would be Ravens versus the Browns.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be on the Ravens. I mean, most of the public's going to be on the Ravens. So the bookmakers could say, you know what? I'm fine with having lopsided action on that game. And if it loses, we're gambling with plus 110.
Right.
So it's like they gamble a little bit. Now, theoretically, I think they're trying to get equal action on both sides. But I think there's games where they say, you know what? We're fine with taking a position on this game. We're 100% fine with saying, you know what? The public line up on this side. We're going to gamble with our plus 110. And if we beat y'all, which, happens often because a lot of times you're going to have the public line up on one side.
Yeah.
They're taking all that money. So I think you're right, but I think there's no public
we're saying
game.
The same thing. The only thing is I'm talking about the evolution to where now it's the exact plan. When it first started, you had two guys in the back figuring out numbers and playing with numbers. And now if it gets to the point now where you got everybody on one side, they might say, as you said in the back, hey, man, I like our position. We're going to stand still. But that's just betting. I'm talking about this new shit. It's us versus the machine type shit. And that's the AI.
Yeah.
That's where I call the Wild Wild East with New Jersey and all these corporate companies that came in and took over and started betting. Where it's no longer the old school gangsters and mob members who were in Vegas that started this, who just were booking old school style. They took it to another level because all corporations are based on bottom line. They want to make money. So now, if you go research, you'll see that DraftKings, FanDuel, they invested billions in AI technology, man. They saying that they did it it's for the interface and interactions. No, bro. They did it so that they can have the best lines to trick people. And how I know is because I've been doing this for 20 years. I remember when you could just bet sports based off of nothing but your knowledge. Like, I know how these coaches match up. I know how these players match up. None of that rarely matters now. It helps, but at the end of the day, it's so many other factors. And that's why I was talking about how it hurts that more people have access because we're getting a more dirty product. And then you have now this AI technology who's shooting lines out that's going to say, okay, we want to make sure that our biggest bettors are on the wrong side. So that's pretty much what I'm saying with it. So we're saying the same thing. I'm just saying that it has evolved into now that's the goal. Back in the day, it wasn't the goal. The goal was just like, hey, we're going to get this vigorous off them. We're going to eat off the juice. Now it's not that. It's that we're going to get them on one side and we're going to beat them. The main thing that old bookies used to get paid off of was vig and addicts. One guy that's going to bet all night, all year round, and we're going to eat off of him. And we're going to eat off of the vigorous. But now, man, it's completely different. You're right, Nick. It's always 5-star versus AI. AI is about to ruin the United States and every other country in the world. You're going to see. All right, guys, we talked enough about that. Let's get into a little bit of these games, man. Get to the past first. Last night, who did you have on the Patriots and the Jets game, and what did you see?
I had the Patriots. I just thought, I had them like minus 11.5. I just thought the number was short. One of the biggest things you got to realize when it comes to Thursday night football and rookie head coaches, they're only covered about 40% of the time. So
say that again for the people so they can hear that again.
You got rookie head coaches on Thursday night football. They're only covering about 40% of the time. And you guys heard me say earlier, your break-even rate is 52.38%. So if you have a wager which historically hits 60% of the time, I think you're on the right side of it. You got a nice little 8% edge or something like that. So that was the first thing. But I mean, ultimately, the Jets won 2 straight games. The defense hasn't been very good, and they traded Quinion Williams, and they also traded Sauce Gardner. I think they performed a little bit above their head against the Cleveland Browns the other day. So to me, a Thursday night spot against a New England Patriots team, which had already won 7 games in a row. Drake May is an MVP candidate. It just felt like an easy grab and an easy click on the New England Patriots. Now, obviously, that game closed 13. So if you got the worst of it and you laid it, you end up pushing. But if you got the earlier numbers, 11 and a half, 11, 12, 12 and a half, you covered. I mean, it was a little bit of a fight, which we kind of expect from division games, but ultimately talent won out.
Yeah, they definitely did. And anyone who's been watching the show and, my guys who are consistent members in the community know that Spread and I talked about what was the biggest offseason move in the NFL. His was, I forgot who he said. I forgot which one Spread said, but I said that Mike Vrabel was. I said that the Patriots getting Mike Vrabel back to Foxborough and giving him that team and, letting him come back home and do his thing was going to be the biggest thing we was going to see. And I said that the Patriots would be the most improved team in the NFL. And as we see, they are. Josh McDaniels doing a great job with Drake May. Drake May was very inaccurate in North Carolina. And he was kind of, a wild boy. Man, Josh McDaniels doing a hell of a job with him. Drake May is, and it's just the beginning. This is only his second year. He has a really, really bright future. And we know that Mr. Kraft runs a really good organization. And I always talk about on the show about winning starts at the top. It starts with the ownership group. That's why the Eagles are so good year in and year out. It starts with Jeff Lurie, man. If you're owner, and that's why the Browns are horrible year in and year out. It starts with your owner. What is your owner in this for? Is he in this to win, or is he in this just to make money off selling tickets? Because I think the Browns owner just drafted Shador just to sell the jerseys, pretty much because it's all about the bottom line and making money with him. He's not worried about the product that he's putting on the field, and that's why he's allowing his coach to just do anything. I'm sorry to talk about your brother. I know you got love for
it's so crazy. I don't know him personally. But it's like a lot of my friends who play football, because I had going to UPenn. A lot of my friends played on the football team. And obviously, the Ivy League schools, they're not like big time football schools. So it's like, and it's a small Black community. So it's like, if you got friends on the football team, they probably your friends. Like, it ain't like I went to Alabama to where it's like, all right, like I might never see Devonta Smith for fucking, I mean? I'm not never seeing them. Like my best friends were on the football team. And some of the guys who came in the year before me played with Kevin Stefanski and won an Ivy League championship before. What's my guy's name?
Back, right?
What you say?
He was a defensive back, correct?
Yeah. They won an Ivy League championship before. What's my guy? Ryan Fitzpatrick came in and started winning all of them shits. That nigga Ryan Fitzpatrick was the man at Harvard.
Yeah, he was.
Basically, it was nobody else winning chips.
Yeah.
So it's like, I kind of just, when somebody go to your alma mater, you show them love. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you got mutual friends. So that's what it is.
Yeah, he's a terrible coach, but he's probably a great guy. But with this game here, my position that I took with the group, we got it early and still freaking lost. We got 42.5 on the over. When he missed that field goal before the half, I said, I'm going to lose this over. I already know I'm about to. As soon as I saw that he missed that field goal, bro, I was like, it's over with. I don't know who the hell the kicker is for the Patriots. He's some little guy that they put in, but they better tighten that up. People have lost a lot of care when it comes to who they choose as their kickers. Like, your kicker is very important to us as sports bettors. That's why I have a segment I used to call Kick the Damn Extra Point, about coaches who pass up points that we need to cover. So bad beat, bad break, bad handicap. I say that was a bad break. Just him missing that field goal is the only reason. And then I think the Patriots were in the red zone several times. And how about the kid for the Jets, man? This kid, Donnie Mitchell, bro. Like, I don't know if he's going to ever recover. He's one of those guys who got all the speed, all the athleticism, can get open, but just has hands like bricks. He can't catch anything. And it seemed like his season was going up before he dropped the ball before the end zone in Indianapolis. And ever since then, it's went completely the other way, right back to how he looked his rookie year when he was really underachieving. But overall, I'd say that was a really boring game, like all the Thursday night football products are. Started out all right in the first half, but as I watch it more and more, I really got disinterested, man. And I just checked my phone later to see if they covered, and I saw that they didn't. I'm always going to be a college football guy. I just like college football better from the betting aspect and from what I see on the field, the hunger that I see in the kids, even though it's still NIL, it's just they still play just a different style of football that I enjoy a little bit more. But I'm glad that you were able to cash on that one. What I was able to cash, though, was the free play that I gave out to everyone on my college football. A little-known team, Old Dominion, they call their stadium the Castle. They hosted Troy, and they won the -10. As I talked about in the video, if the line looks fun, it's probably money, and there was no contest. They were up 20-0 at half. They dominated that game, complete dominance and an easy cash for everyone. So I'm glad that everyone was able to get there. Let's get into the present, man, and talk about all of these games this weekend. We have a lot of games. I tried to pick the more high-profile games for us to speak about, man. It's the NBA Cup, so these mean something, man. If you like money, if you want to come to Vegas and be at the Sphere, we got your Sixers. They're pulling up to Detroit tonight, man. Detroit is laying 4. I love both of these young teams, man. I really like the way that they've been built, drafted well. The biggest thing that I like about the Sixers is Tyrese Maxey. He's a baller, man. I enjoy watching him play. I look forward to them moving off of Joel Embiid and seeing how this team continues to gel and grow when it becomes a more guard-driven team, because it hurts them with having to stop and getting half court and let Embiid eat a little bit. It slows down everything that they're doing, man. And Embiid is a hell of a player, man. He's just, unable to stay healthy. Nobody was hurt more than he was from that shot that Kyrie Leonard made that changed Kyrie Leonard's career, made him a boss, where he could do whatever the hell he wants and play when he wants and name his contract, to now Embiid is looked at as a loser. That was his year, because we knew with his body type and the weight that he carries and the way he likes to play ball that he wasn't going to have a lot of years of being in his prime. So I think that the Sixers will be smart to move him right now to a team who would bite for it. I really like all of the young guys around him. Edgecombe is a baller. He has his running mate. Maxey has his running mate now for the next, 5 to 10 years in him, because that kid has all the heart in the world, and he's only going to get better. Reminds me of a young Dwayne Wade, the way he plays, man. And on the other side, I've been in love with Cade Cunningham's game, man, since he was in Dallas. Just a kid. I knew at Oklahoma State that he was going to be a boss. When we ended up having to take Jalen Green at number 2, I was so sick. I wanted the number 1 ball. I think I was more sick about us missing Cade Cunningham than us missing Victor Wembanyama, man. Seriously. So he's doing his thing. He's just a walking bucket, and he plays at such a great pace, can get anywhere he wants on the court, and he has a lot of dogs around him. Great hire by them with their coach, with them going to get former Houston Rockets coach, former Cleveland coach, Bickerstaff. He can wear on teams. We'll see how long before Detroit gets tired of him after, so many years with the way he barks and how he runs teams. They tend to get tired of him, but he's exactly what that team needed. And he's done a really good job over there. What do you think about that game tonight? Who do you think win, and who do you think covers?
So this is an interesting game, mostly because of the injury news. Obviously, Joel Embiid isn't playing, and you look at the Joel Embiid splits. It's very fascinating because with the Sixers on the court and with Embiid on the court, they're scoring 126 points per 100 possessions with him off 117.9. I think the Sixers team can score efficiently without him, but the interesting thing is that defensively, they're actually better without Joel Embiid on the court. They're giving up 126 points per 100 possessions with him on, and they're giving up 113 per 100 possessions with him off. So you look at the Sixers team, they really struggle to defend with him on the court. I think he can't move as well as he has in years past. And you look at their transition defense is really a problem. I mean, transition wise, they're 27th in defense in transition defense. And that's always been a problem during the MB era, but as a whole, like when he's out there, it's just you can't trust this defense. So he's not playing. This line is Detroit -3, -3.5. And for me, it's just like I have this at 2. That's where my model actually has this at. So I would be leaning towards Philadelphia in this game. I don't personally have anything on it just because there's still, injury information lingering for Detroit. Durant is questionable. Cunningham is questionable. I think they'll ultimately end up playing. Stewart is questionable, but I think the Sixers can kind of keep up with them offensively. So I would be heading that direction. Maxi's point total was like 29.5. It's now up to 31.5. If I could have got that at like 29 or 30, I probably would be in it to win it. But this is probably like Philadelphia or pass. I'm mostly staying away from this game though.
What about the total? Because I feel like both of these teams are going to get up and down. The court is going to be fast-paced. We know that they can, score a lot of points. Both Cunningham and Maxey have been going over their totals on their points nightly. I think Maxey, shout out my homie Ski, man. One night he didn't go over. Ski was so hot about that. He only scored 21 points. And the kid that they got out of Kentucky that they re-signed, what's the left-handed kid's name? What's his name? Left-handed kid, I believe he's 21. He's a hell of a shooter, man. And he didn't play much at Kentucky. I think he was hurt during college. I had never seen him. And when I say that he was going crazy against the Celtics, so that was the reason why Maxey didn't get over his normal points. He only scored 21, but they won the game, which matters.
You talking about McCain?
No, not McCain. He didn't play that game. I know McCain.
Oh, you talking about what's it? I know you talking about.
He's a hell of a character.
What's my guy's name? I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, you talking about little fingernail polish. He can hoop. He can go. He can go. Yeah, he could go at Duke. Like
you talking about Trendon Watford?
No, not Watford. He's my guy from LSU. I'm gonna tell you his name in 1 second because I
Grimes.
What is it?
Quentin
No,
Grimes?
That's my boy from Houston. He went to Kansas and played with Houston. Sure. I wanted the Rockets to sign him. Somebody in the chat to throw it up in a second. Who was somebody throw it for me? The left-handed kid that went crazy for the Sixers against the Celtics, man. Edwards. There we go. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Edwards. That's his name. Appreciate you, Jordan. Edwards. My community sharp. I knew somebody was going to know his name, but that kid can go. Justin Edwards. Oh my goodness, man. He's smooth, bro. I like him a lot, and he has a NBA body. He's rugged. So they got a nice young nucleus with the Sixers, man. It's time to turn the page and give it to Maxey. As far as me on this game, I have no play. I'm not really an NBA player. Sometimes I play it, it's spots that I find, but I'd probably lean the over on this one and probably lean the over on Cunningham's points because I feel like with Maxey coming to town, he's going to try to show up.
So the interesting thing, like you mentioned the over on this game. So you kind of got to be a little bit careful with, and this is not for you, but in general.
No, please. I'm ready to listen because you're an NBA expert. I'm not. I'm a college.
So when it comes to these NBA Cup games, you got to be careful with unders. And I'm like one of those guys who I like to bet against human achievement. But with the NBA Cup games, there's different rules. So because you're playing for point differential, teams are kind of willing to go all out at the end of the game. So a lot of times, the last 4 minutes of the game, teams kind of slow things down and say, all right, we got it. Now, in the last 4 minutes, or the last 2 minutes, or the last 3 minutes, or the last minute, these teams are playing for point differential in their standings. That's now, right. It's like, all right, I'm shooting, which is, obviously against the unwritten rules of NBA players. But now it's like, because you're playing for those point differentials, now you're going to keep shooting. You up 10 with 20 seconds to go. Now it's like, all right, I'm taking that 3 because I'm playing for point differential. So that scares me off a lot of unders. This game in particular, I actually have this total at 234 with the market at 228. And, normally that would say, all right, I'm going to take an over here. But I think the problem is this number opened at 232 and got bet down to 228.
Right.
And I don't understand why. And a lot of times when I don't understand something, it's either I got to stay away or I'm going to say, you know what, forget the market. And I'm going to totally fade this market. I'm not willing to fade the market because I just don't understand that line move. Is it Joel Embiid being out? Edgecombe is questionable tonight. It's like you have all of these questionable signs. So for me, this is kind of a stay away until I figure out what's going on. But my model likes the over. I just don't understand how this got bet down.
And like me personally, like you said, you try to root against human achievement, and I'm the opposite. Only totals that I bet is over. If I don't see a path to over, I'm actually about to send one to the clients right now that I'm about to bet over as we speak. It's some good college basketball tonight and some great totals. Just some free game, guys. Anytime you get these major schools facing off each other in college basketball this year, it's been going over because now they've added continuation. People playing at a much different pace, and we're seeing one of the best.
Oh, they added continuation?
Oh, yeah. Continuation has been added to college. I was bitching because I was like, what the hell are they doing? He can't give it us. Then I went and looked it up. They changed the rules. Continuation is now a part of college basketball. So these totals are off, and until the books catch up with them, take the overs on these college basketball games. But I'm the opposite. If I don't see an over, I'm not betting it. Football, basketball, I don't care what it is. I do not like betting unders and sitting there hoping the paint dries. I don't.
Oh, I absolutely love unders. Like I literally, and one of my favorite unders is first half unders in the NFL.
Oh yeah, those hit.
I love those. That is my favorite under, like in all the sports, just because. And then, a lot of times, like even in NBA, if you got a first half under in the NBA, and they start off slow, it's like literally, within the first 6 minutes. Right. And you're not even sweating. Like you're not even sweating it. So it's just like I like betting against human achievement when I can find it.
There's nothing wrong with it, man. Everybody has different tactics that we use to get to the window, man. Y'all hit that like button if you're rocking with the Wager World in here with the ringers, Raheem Palmer, man. Glad to call him a friend, and he's in here giving out this great information on the Wager World, man. All right, let's get to the next game. My Houston Rockets, future NBA champions if KD stays healthy. We're laying 7.5. Blazers, a really good team. Maybe they were, after all the information came out about Chauncey Billups, we better chill. We're about to play hard every game because they've been playing really good, man. They have a really good roster over there as well. Really unheralded roster, man. They got some ballers over there. Shaedon Sharpe next up. He's one of those guys about to be an all-star pretty soon, man. He was really good at Kentucky. Didn't get a lot of play because of the NCAA ruling against him, being able to play that year for Calipari, but he can go, and he's one of those young wings that I really enjoy watching play. Rockets laying 7.5 total is over and under 236.5. When I see my Rockets, I'm so happy, man. It's just when you go through what we went through as a proud franchise who's used to winning, and you have those down years, it feels so good to be the big dog again, to be on the primetime games, because for a while we was amongst the Sacramento Kings of the world. They kind of forgot about the old Rockets, man, but I'm glad that we're back. Huge job by KD, man. He's mentoring the hell out those kids, man. Jabari's looking outstanding. Sagoon's playing with a whole new confidence. Look at Reed Shepherd. Reed Shepherd is balling. I like our men to be at the dunk instead of point guard, but he's still being able to do a little bit of both. Just a completely Swiss knife, one of the, just a great athlete, man. Our man Thompson is going to be an MVP of the league one year, I believe. I believe he's heading in that direction after KD's a little bit older and retires, and it's just his team. He's really good, bro. The funny thing about that trade was this. I approach every trade and anything in life as a bettor. So it's always logic with me, and looking at the big picture. It's never overreacting. So I was like, okay, we had the second best record with the second youngest nucleus to OKC. Why are we going to bust this team up? Jalen had a down series, but really when you look at it, was it a down series? the way that the Warriors played him after he went off for the 38 points was they made it where it was a Sagoon game. They even talked about it. Draymond talked about it at the presser, like, we're going to get the ball out of Jalen Green's hands. He can hurt us. Also, last year, every time Jalen went over 30, we were like 16-1 or something, right? So I'm like, man, let's keep Jalen. He's young. He's a kid. He's got a lot of youth. He's never injured. KD's always injured. Now, to show you how you just really never know, KD's played every game. Jalen Green has a hamstring and has missed more games with the Suns than he missed the last 2 seasons with the Rockets. So you never know, man. So what do you think about this game tonight, and do you have a side on it?
So I kind of lean towards Portland, but I don't have enough on it to, necessarily get myself to the window.
Okay.
I think when I look at this game, like, I'm pretty close on market. I'm at Rockets minus 6.7. The market is at 8. So, I mean, that would pretty much imply that I'm looking towards the Blazers. But I think this Rockets offense is just rolling right now. And it's very difficult to put yourself in position to step in front of this Rockets offense. I mean, the second offensive rating, 124 points per 100 possessions. And right now, it just feels like this offense can't be stopped, even without a point guard. So I think the way I'm looking right here is really towards the prop market. I'm looking at, I have it written down. Damn, where did it go? Shit. Fuck.
Take your time, bro. One thing about the wagering world, hey, it's real over in here. So take your time. I'm sending out some plays actually right now, guys. I got a 3:30 play that's coming up right now. I'll give it to you guys since we're on here. Over 90 first half on IUPUI at EMU, which is Eastern Michigan. You got Indiana University at Indianapolis. These guys don't play any defense, man. They play at a ridiculous pace. 90.5 over first half. I'm playing that right now. That's a free play for 5-star just for you guys coming in and rocking with me. And since we haven't been around for a while, I'm playing that right now as we speak.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sengun. I'm gonna go with his rebounds. I think his rebounds. Where are we at? I think this is a game where he should be able to dominate inside. So I'm gonna go with his rebounds over. That's the one that makes the most sense. Over 9.5.
Okay, so you like over 9.5 on rebounds for my guy Sengun, and I always play the Rockets first quarter, especially at home. So I'll be playing Rockets first quarter. I believe it's 2.5 or something like that. They usually have a nice lead. They get on teams early. Shout out to the guys in the community, the Rockets community who were saying all of these things, and I'm seeing out this office now because I didn't see it. I didn't know we were going to be this official with just adding KD, that he was going to make such a big difference, and he did, man. And I didn't think that Udoka was going to be able to transition and be smart enough to say, okay, I love defense, but I understand you got to put the ball in the basket because KD's over here and he's in my ear telling me this. Let me make some, couple of little, tweaks right here on my offense. They look good, man. They look really good.
The thing is, the Rockets, they had to add KD. Yeah. Because when you look at, I'm going to pull up the numbers. The numbers are very fascinating.
Okay.
When you look at, the biggest thing with the Rockets is that last year, they really struggled to score in the half court. So if you look at the Rockets, they were 12th in offensive rating, 116 points per 100 possessions in their non-garbage time minutes. But they were 22nd in half-court offensive rating, 24th in effective field goal percentage, and bottom 10 in effective field goal percentage from every area of the floor. So basically, this was a team that was able to get stops, get out in transition, and score. But when they couldn't get out in transition, which tends to happen in the postseason, you don't have anybody who can get you a basket. Yeah. So ultimately, I know you like Jalen Green, but he wasn't consistent enough for them.
No, I don't like Jalen Green. Wait,
okay.
No, I just like youth, and I like the fact
I got you. I respect that.
He hadn't missed 3 games. He hadn't missed a game in 3 seasons.
Yeah.
I never take Jalen Green over KD.
Okay.
KD's
I got
an
you.
all-time
And
great.
I'm not even the biggest KD fan. Me and KD have gone at it for the last 3 years on Twitter.
Right.
Like, literally, like I've had KD jump in my DMs on Memorial Day and us have a 4-hour conversation about his legacy. Like that happened.
Right.
We've gone at it for quite some time. But I think KD significantly raises the floor of this offense. Now, it's unfortunate that Fred VanVleet got hurt, because he didn't get hurt. Now you got a point guard, somebody who can make things, easier to get into the offense. But right now the offense is still humming because Sengun is playing like an MVP candidate, and then you got KD.
I'm actually, now don't get me wrong, FVV is a cool cat. He came over and took the role with the Rockets when we were on our ass. We weren't good. He saw the vision with Udoka. So shout out to him. Shout out my boy Spread. There go my dog, Spread Astaire, the only Sacramento Kings fan that I know, man. What's up, Spread? Me and Spread will be back on here on Monday, man. Spread, drop some knowledge in there, man. I love to post it, bro. If you're taking anything tonight, that's my dog. He helped me build the wagering world, man. He's always.
Oh, I love that. That's what's up, man.
Man. So my thing was this. Well, the whole time, excuse me, with that situation was this. Okay, FVV is a really cool guy. I like him a lot. I like the type of person he is. I like the type of leader he is. Right. That's all good. The problem that I had was that he was kind of like Udoka's crutch, bro. If Udoka got in the situation, I feel like he leaned way too much on him. I feel like he leaned way too much on FVV, and FVV isn't built like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a great player, don't get me wrong, but he's not supposed to be our big dog. He's not supposed to be our lead guy. You know what I mean? He tried to lean on him and make him always, as when it comes down to it and things are going haywire, get it to Fred. No, man. Don't get it to Fred, because Fred's still, at the end of the day, a 5'9" shooting guard. He's not a real true point, even though he did a better job and averaged like about 8 assists for us last year. That's not his real role. As you know, he excelled in Toronto as what? A catch and shoot guy, off the dub. And he would have excelled with this lineup because of Sengun, because KD, and the kickouts. But I'm kind of glad that he's not in the lineup, because it allowed Reed Shepherd to get more playing time and evolve more, put more responsibility on the shoulders. And I watched that kid at Kentucky, and I know what type of player he is. He just had to get over the fear of being in the NBA, the fear of people saying, "Yeah, little punk ass white boy, I'm gonna beat your ass if you shoot," and still being able to make threes. He had to get over that shit. And now
that makes sense.
Now he's gotten over it. He's a baller, bro. So Fred is expendable. I know he has a don't trade clause or no trade clause, but I'm hearing that I think they say like December 15th or something that it expires, that he can't hold it over the team's head. I don't know if they move him or not. If they continue with the success, they probably don't. But I'm hearing that, they're thinking about touching Kyrie or Jrue Holiday or maybe even Harden, if Harden can get him and Udoka can get on the same page. It's something with them two that's keeping that, because that was supposed to already been the plan, from the jump. Spread says he's on the Pistons tonight, guys. So my boy Spread Stat says take the Pistons.
I got to answer this question for DS Griff. So he asked me what my take is in my issue with Kevin Durant. And people are going to kill me for this. I think Kevin Durant's one of the most overrated athletes of the last 30 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
So when I look at Kevin Durant, I see a guy who is perhaps one of the greatest scorers we've ever seen in terms of efficiency. But when you break down who he is as a player, and this is what I value, I think in the modern NBA, everybody can score. I think isolation scoring is obviously it's very important, but you also have to be able to make plays. And when you see Kevin Durant, ultimately, when he wasn't with Steph Curry and you needed him to, dominate the ball in the postseason, he tends to have a lot of turnovers. And ultimately, because he's, you're talking about a 7-footer who can shoot from anywhere, he takes a lot of bad shots. And ultimately, you see a game like Game 6 versus the Warriors, the game where Clay and Steph went off. Because if you look at KD, he was 10 for 31 with three turnovers. in that game. And I think a big part of why, a big part of KD's legacy is stealing from Steph. Like, to me, Steph Curry is by far the more dangerous offensive player because of the gravity that he has. So, KD goes to Golden State, he wins 2 championships, and then you got all of these media guys on TV saying Kevin Durant is the best player on the Warriors. And it's like, no, he's not. So it's like, I don't know if you're like me, like Five, if you're like me, when you hear somebody say something and you think they're blatantly wrong, and you hear all these media members say this one thing and you think they're blatantly wrong, and you're on the opposite end, it almost kind of makes you hate. You know what I mean? So that's the whole thing with me and Kev. And I've told Kev
I can agree with some of what you're saying, but I can push back a little. And the one pushback is that at that time, the Warriors had to have KD to win the championship. Even though
I kind of disagree. I disagree.
They win without him those 2 years because what had happened, they became afraid of LeBron and of James Harden. They were dealing with those 2 guys, and those 2 guys were threatening their crowns. And
here's my thing:
to LeBron and Kyrie. And so I think that the main reason that KD did some sucker shit. We know that.
Yeah.
You don't go fight with the team that just beat up your homeboy. You don't go join the gang that just killed your homeboy. You know what I mean? Like, just
killed y'all, not your homeboy. You.
Yeah, you got away. You stuck away. They killed everybody, and you said, you know what? I'm joining that gang. So
here's my thing, Five. Hear me out. So you look at that series against the Warriors. 7-game series. Warriors are up 3-1. Steph Curry is coming off of a torn MCL, which he tore during the postseason. So he hasn't been the same guy during that entire postseason. He had that 51 against the Blazers in the second round. Obviously, they make the NBA Finals. They go up 3-1, but Steph Curry wasn't the same guy. Right. Then what happens? Andrew Bogut gets hurt during that series. What else happens? Andre Iguodala, he's banged up. His back is messed up. So you got 3 of your most important players injured during that series. And the Cavs, they win that series, Game 7, by 4 points.
Yeah.
So to me, it was like you see this Warriors team, like it took almost an active guy, and then Draymond got suspended for 1 game. So it took like an active
problem because he was the point guard back then. He was a different player than he is now. Draymond was hell back then. We know
if
that.
Draymond don't get suspended in Game 5, that series is over in 5. So it took like almost like an active guy for Cleveland to win that series, and I think ultimately KD joining, it pushed this Warriors team that was already one of the best probably one of the best in history, and made them completely unbeatable. So to me, I think had they, KD doesn't join the Warriors, you might have the Warriors back in the finals again.
Well, this is what I think. Yeah. I think that both are really great players. I think that it's just the move that KD made was sucker. Even LeBron's Miami stuff that he did, I give him a pass on because at the time, people don't ever talk about the fact he was dealing with a big 3. The Celtics had a big 3. They had one before him with Ray Allen, even though it was Ray Allen's post-prime, he still was good for how long after he was so damn good. He went to Miami as an old man and still was winning shit for LeBron, right? Paul Pierce was in his prime, and Paul Pierce P-Square has always been one. He's damn near like Harden. People do not recognize the type of hooper that Paul Pierce in his prime was and the type of guys he was busting their ass, bro. Like, he's good, bro. KG was right at the rear end of his middle of his prime, the end when he hit the Celtics. So LeBron couldn't do anything with them. His team with Cleveland at that time was horrible. He came back after they went and got Kyrie. He didn't have a lot of help, and he was ring chasing. Like, man, I got to find a way to get a ring, or my legacy's never going to be any good. And KD, just something that I know about KD personally. I know the guy who trains KD. He's from Houston, and he's trained KD since he was in high school, bro. He always used to tell us KD is obsessed with LeBron, bro. So he watches everything that LeBron does. If you watch from a business aspect, he does everything that LeBron does, bro. So he was trying to chase LeBron, and after he saw LeBron do that, he like, you know what? I'm going to one-up him and make everyone talk about this shit. I'm going to Golden State.
Yeah.
And he's just a quirky guy like that, you know?
Yeah.
The reason I'll give him a pass as far as not saying he's overrated at all is because I love what I saw from him with the Nets that one season, bro. And without him stepping on that line, Giannis's entire legacy is different. And
it's so crazy. I was I was at that game, right?
Were you?
So it's the wildest thing. Game 5, Harden was hurt.
Yeah.
And Kyrie was already hurt. I was like, yo, KD gonna go off tonight. I bet 10,000 on the Nets to win game 5. So the Nets go up 3-2. KD drops 50 in that game.
Right.
Right before game 6, I'm like, yo, give me 12,000. No, give me 13,000 on the Bucks to come back and win this series. I'm like, yo, they're gonna win this series. So game 7 is in Brooklyn. I wake up. I'm like, I'm going to game 7. Y'all know the Nets don't really got no fans like that. Nah. It ain't like the Knicks. So you could get courtside seats for cheap. I go on StubHub. They got a courtside seat for 2 stacks, like $2,200. I'm like, I'm going. I bet another 12,000 on the Bucks to win that series, to win game 7. After I already got 13,000 on them to win the series. So I'm there. I'm sitting right behind Travis Scott. Like if you watch that game, you'll see me right behind Travis Scott.
Homeboy, that's my little homie. Travis tried to.
Travis Scott was like, and I'll send you the pictures. I'm right behind Travis Scott, and right next to me is Emmanuel Sanders. I'm talking cash shit, like because I'm like, yo, the Bucks got this. The KD bucket is on the other side of the court. I actually thought he hit a 3.
Right.
I look up at the scoreboard and that shit says it's tied. And I'm like, yo, thank fucking God.
Right.
Because that shit was like the scariest shit ever. Because I thought I lost on that bucket. But it was like, yeah, I was all over the Bucks to come back and win that series and win game 7. I was talking cash shit to everybody. And it's like the Nets ain't really got no fans like that. So it wasn't like nobody was trying to beat me up like they would if I was at Madison Square Garden.
At the Knicks game, right? The Knicks game, they would have tried to maul you.
Oh, yeah, they'd have bust my ass. But motherfuckers were just laughing.
Right. Yeah, they don't. Brooklyn is now, it's one of those gentrified areas. It used to be, really rough up there. Shout out to the homies from Crown Heights that I know, my partner Will. Now it's a completely different place. Brooklyn, one of those places. Now you go like the Dumbo and hang out and stuff. I took my wife, to Brooklyn when we went to New York. We had a great time. That was one of the places we kind of hung around at. But yeah, I think that KD, is my bro William says right here, is a one-on-one player. That's the thing about it. He's evolved the game so much, bro. You got to call him an all-time great because
I think he's an all-time great, but I don't think. And this is probably something I probably should write up one day. But I think if he doesn't go with Steph Curry, I think he's in the Barkley category. I think I have Steph Curry ranked so highly that like to me, I don't know. I'm not a big KD guy. I think he's very, very, very overrated.
And see, there's a lot of people take an opposite stance with you. Some people feel like that Steph is overrated. I'm personally a Steph guy because I've been rocking with him since Davidson. But
Steph won without KD twice. KD left. It's so crazy. This is what Draymond told Kevin Durant during the meeting. He was like, "Look, we don't need you. We won a championship before you. We gonna win with you, and we gonna win without you." And that's exactly what happened.
I always talk about. All right, I'm a guy who's been on the wrong side of things before in my life, right? And I've been in the locker rooms, and unfortunately, I've been in a few other situations, confinements. And in both of those situations, I tell people the locker room is very similar to prison because whoever runs the radio is who runs the team. Yeah. And I think after KD got a couple of them MVPs, he started wanting to try to run the radio. And Draymond had to let him know, look, this Steph radio. Whatever Steph want to play, he plays. And I'm the goon to make sure that he's going to get what he wants because Draymond and him came in together. Mark
Yeah.
Jackson had a great vision for that team. Kerr was able to refine them and turn them into who they were supposed to be. But it all started with Draymond and Clay. You see, they even outlasted the general manager. They got him on ESPN now because he wanted to move off of them, and Kerr wouldn't let him because Kerr comes from that Bulls background where he felt like the Bulls got bust up a year too early because of the same type of stuff. And he's like, nah, I'm not doing that with these guys. They, earn the right to be here. So very interesting topics about KD. We're going to have to chop it up some more about that on another show, man.
One thing, like DS Griff, one thing I will say, I think KD is more talented than Steph Curry, naturally, but I don't think he's reached the level of his talent. I don't think his on-court impact, when you look at the analytics, when you look at like the gravity that Steph has, I don't think he's truly reached it. And I think a lot of times with KD, people look at KD in theory, his measurables, the fact that he's 7 foot with this long wingspan that can shoot from everywhere. And I never thought that he made the impact. Like I like James Harden better than I like KD. And people are gonna be mad at me for that, but
That's my favorite player. Besides Kobe, everyone knows my favorite player is Harden because my son loves Harden. When my son was born, he's be 12 next month in December. From the moment he could walk and run, he was watching James Harden, and we was walking from Lost at the ballpark in Houston to Toyota Stadium or catching one of the little rides where you jump in the back and they pedal you down there, on the little bikes, and watched Harden. And Harden doesn't get enough credit for showing up to play every night, even still with the Clippers. He went through the same thing in Houston. CP3 comes over there. He's hurt every night, never playing, just and every night Harden having to carry the team. He went to the Clippers just to be the second fiddle. I'm a chill. I'm back in LA. I'm past my prime, and now he's ended up having to be the face of that team and carry it. He doesn't get the love that he deserves for being a pro. He's been a really good pro. He's a pro.
I know we talked about this game already, but there was just a huge line move on the Detroit Pistons Philadelphia 76ers game.
I wonder why.
Cade Cunningham is out. Duran is out. Obviously, Harris is out. So now that line has gone to Philadelphia Pick'em, and that the total has dropped from 228 to 227.5. So, like I told y'all, I said my gut feel was Philadelphia with the +3. Now that line is at Pick'em. I mean, you see some spots at Detroit -1, but I mean, ultimately, I thought Philadelphia was the side. You got those line moves, but I hate, in the NBA, you bet against, injury-related news, and all hellfire breaks loose.
Oh, yeah, that means the Pistons spread probably on the right side now. Now that none of those guys are playing, they probably win by 20. For some reason, that's how it always goes, man. Let's get to the last NBA game for the night that we're going to discuss. We got the Warriors and your guy, Steph, going against the Spurs. He's playing tonight, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, this is actually a game that I actually have something on.
Let's hear it.
So these two teams played the other day. Warriors won 125, 120. Steph Curry had 34 points, 13 to 25 shooting, 5 for 16 from 3. Went to the line 16 times. Jimmy Butler had 34 points. So you damn near got 70 points from Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry. It's kind of hard to imagine that happening again. And, the Spurs were winning the first half, kind of collapsed in the second. Steph Curry had 22 in the second half. This is a Spurs spot for me. One of the things that we've seen since the pandemic is the 2-game NBA series, where you have teams playing the same exact team in the same arena. That's not something we've ever seen before the pandemic. That was brought upon in the 2020 season. Obviously, you see it all the time in baseball. But typically when that happens, I like to, fade the team that won the first game.
Right.
And I think in this situation, it's a perfect spot to play the Spurs. I laid the 2 earlier. It's now up to 2.5, 3. If you want to take the money line, you could take the money line as well. But I think this is a great spot to play the Spurs. I actually have the Spurs power rated much higher than the Warriors. You look at the Warriors team, they've really struggled on the road. 2-6 straight up and against the spread on the road this season. And the Spurs are actually 4-2 straight up against a team that they've already lost to. Since the start of last season. So I think this is a Spurs spot, and I'm all over it. So that's actually my favorite NBA play for tonight.
Okay, nice. So bring it back also in the ball and parlay as well. So you heard my guy Raheem. He says he's going with the Spurs. Me personally, I have no play on this game. Let's get to what I want to talk about, some college football.
And one thing I'll say, I'm not playing a lot of NBA sides at this point in time. I'm more so interested in playing totals at this point in time. I have my own individual reasons for that.
Right.
I'm mostly this season, I've been playing mostly totals. I'm trying to think if I have any totals for tonight. Nothing right now. If I have anything, I'll tweet it out. But
keep it for, and also at the end of the show, if you see something in between now when we do the ball and parlay, you can give out one. All right, let's get to college football real quick for the slate tonight. Friday night college football. You know I love it, man. Clemson is at Louisville. If the line looks funny, Raheem, why the hell is Clemson only catching 2 points at 4-5 against a 7-2 Louisville team? Jeff Brom is a hell of a coach, but they got some stuff going on. We just were talking about the access to betting. A Texas man, Brian Mandel, has been indicted for making threats against the Louisville football head coach, the quarterback, and both their families. The threats occurred after their loss in overtime to California last week. I had California in that game, actually, and did really well and cashed it. And, bro, these guys who are betting and are losing their mind and going, looks, bro, anyone in the wagering world who's watching right now, bro, if you lose a prop bet or a game, do not add these players. Do not DM these players, bro. Do not do that, bro, because it's a time that's going to be coming real soon that this is going to be a federal case. So you might as well start practicing right now, not doing that. For one, it's lame, first of all. But second of all, bro, you have an opportunity to catch a case and get in some real trouble. Leave these guys alone, man. They're professionals. They're doing their job. If it goes your way, it goes your way. Don't be a damn degenerate and get going crazy and bothering these people because it did not go your way. My boy Jay Pacino say it's not that deep. That's a real Wagering World member, man. So
that's real.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it G in the Wagering World, man. It's your money. It's gambling. If you put your money up and it doesn't go your way, yeah, you could be a little upset. You could bitch and cry for a few minutes, but after that, put it out, wipe it off your shoulders, and move on to the next game, bro. Don't bother these players. Leave them alone, because this guy has caught a whole case because he went out here threatening these guys, probably all through the DM and saying, I'm going to kill you, and they called the police on him, you know, and now he got a whole case in Texas, one of the most difficult states, as I know, to get out of trouble in. So, man, that's not a good move. But on the football side of things, I definitely like Clemson in this game. I'm going to be on Clemson for sure. I think that Clemson's going to win this game money line, to be honest, bro. I think that Dabo has a lot of pride, and he now has his quarterback back. They've been playing really good of late. I think that they have enough pride to want to make a late season push and get into a bowl game at least. So give me a very prideful Clemson team who's won 9 of the last 10 against Louisville. So I think that all of the stuff that's going on with the media is going to affect Louisville severely. I think that loss that might have knocked them out the college football playoffs is going to be bad on Louisville. And I've never been a Miller Mouse guy. Even when he was at USC, I just don't think that he's a quality quarterback. So give me Clemson, man. I think Clemson +2 is the play on this one. Any opinion on the college football, Raheem?
I saw Louisville lose that game to Kyle last week. So they were pretty big favorites in that game from what I remember. I'm not the biggest college football guy, but I do pick my spots. I get information from people who I can get information from. Sometimes I'll watch the game and I'll bet live, but I do think it's interesting that line is what it is. You're basically at a pick 'em -1.5 or so. So yeah, I think you're probably on the right side of this.
We shall see very soon. And then the next game we got Friday night in Oxford Stadium, man. Interesting to see what type of jerseys Oregon wears.
I just realized this line opened 2.5 on Louisville. So it got bet down.
Yeah, it got bet down.
Oh, so it's like this is like sharp money all on this.
Yes, it's sharp
Interesting.
money.
Okay. You probably moved the line.
Yeah, because what happens is that's why one of the reasons I stopped doing the ESPN 97.5 with Lance Zerline and John Granada. Shout out to those guys. Those are the homies, man. I appreciate them for the opportunities that they gave me to ESPN 97.5 when I was just just a street better. And they got me and gave me a platform to come on there and talk to people and give them my plays. And in 2021, I went 14-0 against the spread on that show. And it kind of morphed into me doing the wagering world and doing all of the stuff that I've done. I also was the first African American to have my own sports betting show that was owned and operated and produced by me in Houston. It was the first one in Houston, so I always have love for those guys. But it all started, man, from right there. But when I used to give out plays, I used to get so mad because I'd give out a play on Friday on the show and I'll go try to bet it on Saturday, bro. The public money is flipped so bad and I'm in a really bad position because I don't bet early. I don't bet until after I have a way to get access to like the warm-ups. I wait to see the warm-ups and see what's going on with that stuff before I lock in these bets, and I also wait for late market movement. But we have a good one tonight with Minnesota at Oregon, and Oregon is laying 25 points. Man, that's a lot of points against a really scrappy Minnesota team, man. Their coach, he tends to get on people's nerves, man. He's one of those guys who's kind of like, man, he's got OCD or something, man. PJ Fleck, he's a real funny character, but he can't coach his ass off. So PJ Fleck, I don't know if I want to, on a Friday night short week, lay those type of points with the Ducks. I know the Ducks are a good team, but Iowa gave Oregon some problems last week with their toughness, in the trenches. And Minnesota is very similarly built to Iowa in the trenches. And I just can't see myself laying 25. I might be a sucker on this one, but in this situation, Oregon is a really popular public team. People are going to rarely bet against them. I think that the quarterback for Minnesota, Lindsey, is good enough to keep them within the number, man. So I'll be playing Minnesota on this one plus the 25. Any opinion on this one?
I got nothing on this one. I wish I could.
Total game too, honestly, Raheem. I think that over 44.5 is a short number, bro. If you're laying 25 and the over and under 44.5,
So interestingly enough, I don't even think the sports books will let you parlay this. Because so if you try to parlay, if you go to the sports books and you try to parlay Minnesota in the under, they're going to consider it correlated. Just like if you try to so they used to didn't let you do this type of stuff. So they're called correlated parlays.
Right.
So if you look at the spread and it's like more than 40% of the total, they wouldn't let you parlay it. So like say you parlay Oregon in the over, they're only going to pay you plus 189.
Right.
We all know a 2-team parlay pays like 2.6 to 1.
Right.
So, or like 3 to 1 or so. So they're only going to pay you like plus 189. And the same thing as if you was to parlay Minnesota in the under. You're only going to get like plus 172. Whereas like, say if you parlay, like, and you could try this at your sportsbook, try to parlay Oregon in the under. It's going to pay you like almost 4 to 1.
Really?
Because those aren't correlated. So these books are, I mean, they're pretty sharp, on this. So it's like, I mean, like literally like 20 years ago, you could parlay Oregon in the over and you would have a positive expected value wager that would pay the true odds of what it's supposed to pay. And if you did that over and over and over and over again, you'd crush them. But now it's priced in.
Yeah. They already know, because I used to always do halves with the over. Like certain teams, I lay the 7 and go over. And that's quick, we used to call it 2 for 5. That's something that I made up back in the game when I was betting. I'd go 200 win 500, 2,000 win 5,000. And you get it in 30 minutes to an hour. You just, if it's college basketball, 2 hours, hour and a half or so. If it's college football, you just take the team that you're not going to blow the doors and take the over. None of that is going on right now. What's up, Alonzo? This boy is die-hard wagering world member. I appreciate you, brother. Always comments on the videos. Alonzo, make sure that you DM me on X. I got to play for you, man. You've always supported the show, and I appreciate you, brother. All right, let's get to one more. Let's do one more Saturday morning game. Let's go with Notre Dame, because this is a big one. ESPN is going to be over there. It's Notre Dame at Pitt, plus 12.5. Over and under is 54. All Notre Dame games, I'm playing the over. So until they show me something different, show me that they don't have a leaky defense and can score a lot of points with future first round number 1 draft pick quarterback CJ Carr. They've already written his story. He's going to be the number 1 pick in a couple of years. That's Lord Carr's grandson, and Lord Carr has retired from Michigan many years now, but he coached Tom Brady, and Tom Brady actually just tweeted about the fact that he thought that CJ Carr had potential to be a number 1 pick. So he's probably positioning himself with the Raiders to get action at him in a couple of years. So don't be surprised if the Raiders suck again next year. They try to get in a position to get CJ Carr. Any opinion at all on Notre Dame and Pitt? I'll be playing the over 54, Raheem.
I got nothing, man. I'm not the biggest college football fan, so I'm taking your word for it, man.
All right, well, let's get to what you like to talk about. Let's get to the Sunday NFL, man. Big game for the NFC West right here, man. We got the Seattle Seahawks traveling to LA to SoFi Stadium, man. They're going to play the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are laying 3. The over and under is 48.5. Well, who do you like, Raheem?
This is a tough game because I'm right on market for this one. I'm at Rams -3. My gut feel is that the Seahawks are the better team.
They are.
And I look at this Rams team, and I saw Mac Jones go up and down the field last week. I also saw Mac Jones go up and down the field in that Thursday night football game. This is a massive revenge spot for Sam Darnold. You're talking about a guy who got sacked like 10 times in that playoff game, and he completely turned it into a pumpkin. I think obviously he probably has a better offensive line, but I look at this Rams defensive, basically the secondary is weak. It's probably one of the weakest in the league. They just have a good pass rush. You saw Jalen Hurts. I mean, for as bad as that Eagles offense is, the second half, Jalen Hurts passed all over that defense. So I imagine the Seahawks team, who can't really run the ball that well, they should be able to pass all over this Rams team. So my gut feel is that this is probably an over. Looking at 48.5, I think that's probably a little bit short. The way these 2 quarterbacks are playing. Matthew Stafford's obviously playing at an MVP level. And if I had to choose a side, I think I would go with the Seahawks on the money line. It's not like the Rams have this massive home field advantage. I think you got 2 evenly matched teams. I think whoever wins this game is probably going to win within margin. So I probably would go over, and then I'll also go Seattle on the money line, plus 150.
Yeah, I lean Seattle on this game. You don't want to get in front of Seattle. I always talk about good teams win, great teams cover, special teams, they can win with the public on their back. And Seahawks have been being bet like crazy maybe the last 3-4 weeks, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're one of those few NFL teams that they don't play for Vegas. They play for Mike McDonald. So he doesn't have any leaks in his locker room. Those guys come to play. JSN has quickly became the best receiver right now in the NFL. Like, it's no arguing, especially after I saw that. Did you see the video that the cornerback for the Broncos put up showing exactly how he's getting guys getting into their soft spot with his speed and his head movements, and you don't know whether his hips are going to go on a post or go on a corner route or stop? This kid is unbelievable. He was unbelievable at Ohio State. I wish so bad we could have got him in Houston with the Texans, because him and C.J. Stroud are really tight, but he's a baller. Sam Darnold, I do worry about at times because we've seen in the past that he has turnover tendency. So that would be the only thing I would worry about, because that Rams defense is tough. They're, one of those better teams. The Seahawks defense is tough as well. So,
I think that the Rams, to me, their pass rush is tough. Yeah. But the secondary is weak as hell.
Yeah, they
It's
cover it
it's
up though.
super.
Because Jared Verse is such a dog. He's
Yeah,
one of those guys that's so good. He's got into that little realm of players that's so good on the end that he makes up for so much on the defense, right? So,
yeah,
the Rams are a solid team, and everyone knows I love Sean McVay. He's a hell of a coach. Me and my wife laugh at him all the time because I used to get mad at him for running up and down the sidelines. He don't do it anymore. When my wife see him, she always be like, "Isn't that the little guy who always is running up the sidelines with his players score touchdowns?" But he's not doing it anymore. He's just coaching, and he's a hell of a coach. But Mike McDonald's that guy. I
yeah,
was when he left the Ravens, I told Spread, he's on here now, he could vouch. I told him, man, Seahawks made the hire of the decade because that
yeah.
guy is going to be a successful NFL coach. And he has been, man. I have a ticket on them to win actually I have a ticket on them and the Rams to win the NFC West. So I'm looking pretty good on that.
To me, you got the two best teams.
Yeah. Yeah. I took them preseason, man. I already knew I had a real good number on Seattle. The Rams, I think, was plus 180 or something like that. With the high. But for some reason, the 49ers were favored. I don't know why, but they were favored to win the West, and I had to jump on that ticket. So that was a good investment on that one. So we both like the Seahawks in this one.
Before we move on for this game, I got to make one comment.
Okay, please do.
So you look at the MVP markets, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, Drake May is the favorite at plus 230, followed by Matthew Stafford at plus 240. You got Sam Darnold at plus 1100. I think the winner of this game is going to be the MVP favorite.
Okay.
So I think if you like the Rams in this game, I think you owe it to yourself to take some Matthew Stafford plus 240 if you already don't have him in your portfolio. And I think if you like the Seahawks to win this game, you owe it to yourself to take Darnold at plus 1100. And if one of those two teams wins, obviously you could find yourself with a good ticket, but you also can work off that position later. So if Sam Darnold, wins, if Matthew Stafford and the Rams win, Stafford's probably gonna be the favorite. So you can kind of work off that position with Drake May. And then if Darnold wins, you're going to see his odds go down. He's not going to be 11-1 if the Seahawks win this game. So whoever you like in this game, just put a little something on a lottery ticket for the MVP.
And anyone who's been in here rocking with me for a long time, y'all hit that like button if you're rocking with the Wager World. And me and my brother Raheem Palmer from the Ringer are on here. I always talk about when we give out future plays, exactly what you said. It's for your portfolio. This is investment, man. It's an investment. You want to get in a way. Shout out Spread. Yes, sir. He's elite, man. You want to get in a position where you have value. That's the whole key to this when you're doing futures, man. Futures are really what the real bettors, that's where they make their money, bro. It's not week to week. It's not week to week wrestling with these numbers. It's making investments and being able to get ahead of the books on these things, bro. So great point right there by my brothers. He says go on and get some of that MVP money on either Darnold or on Matt Stafford, or maybe more, maybe both. If you have, the bankroll to afford it, and you can see a way to hedge out of it later. And if some of these books, especially the ones on the East Coast and in Louisiana, they start making offers. You might get a chance to, cash out. I always talk about oatmeal beats no meal. So
I like that.
Yeah, if it's available, man, you got an opportunity to get some of that money, you probably want to do so. All right, man. So we got one more game to get to. Let's get to it real fast. I think we're going to talk about what was the last game we want to talk about? Let's do Detroit at Philadelphia. That's the other popular game. Let's get to that one. Got Detroit, not known for being a team that's good on the road, and they're heading to Philadelphia. Tough place to play, your hometown. What do you think about that one?
So it's my hometown, but I am a Cowboys fan. I'm like a diehard Cowboys fan.
You told me that. You told me.
I'm actually going to Cowboys Raiders on Monday.
From that sickness.
Yeah, I suffer.
I'm from Houston. We can't stand nothing Dallas from Houston. We root against everything from Dallas if you're from Houston.
So this is an Eagles spot, and I actually gave this out on my show on Monday before the Packers game. this is a prime Eagle spot. I gave this out at -1.5. It's now a consensus 2.5, 3 within the market. You look at this Lions team, they're very banged up. I mean, Sam Laporta is out. You look at the fact that this Lions defense is pretty bad. Like, it's legitimately garbage. And I think the biggest thing with the Eagles is with that Jalen Phillips trade, the pass rush is back. Like, I mean, I spent all year saying that this Eagles team was fraudulent. You're talking about a team that's 7-2 with a point differential plus 26. If you're looking at Pythagorean expectation, you would be talking about a team that really should have won about 5 games. That's, how they perform in terms of their point differential. But I think the Jalen Phillips trade really changes that, because now the pass rush is just as good as it was last year. And now you're playing a Lions team, which really isn't good defensively at all. And as quiet as kept, this Lions offense really isn't what they were last year. Obviously, you lose Ben Johnson, who's one of the best offensive coordinators in the league, but you lose Frank Zeitler. You lose, Kevin Zeitler, and what's my guy's name? The center. You lose the Hall of Fame center.
Right. Reagan. What is his name?
Frank Ragnow. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Frank Ragnow and Kevin Zeitler. You lose both of those. So if you go through the Lions' schedule, outside of games against the Bears and the Ravens and the Commanders, who you could arguably say those are the 3 worst defenses in the league, really. The Bears defense, I mean, absolutely abysmal. The Ravens, when they beat up on the Ravens, everybody was hurt. It's like, ultimately, it's just like, I'm not really that impressed. You score 17 against Kansas City. You scored 24 against that Buccaneers defense. You put up 24 against the Vikings. Like, to me, I don't think the offense is truly what it was last year. And I think this is probably going to be the best defense if they've played all year outside of Green Bay. So I think you probably see a game that kind of resembles what you saw week 1 in Green Bay. I think this is a Philadelphia Eagles smash spot. If you're going to get it, obviously you don't want to lay the 3. But I love the Eagles in this spot. And I also think the Eagles offense should be able to get going. We know about Jared Goff in cold weather. He's playing in Philadelphia. He's going to be hearing all types of dickheads and all types of like, that's what we do in Philly. Like, it's going to get bad, but you're talking about 30, 40 degrees. You're talking about wind between 10 and 20 degrees. 10 and 20 miles per hour. So I love the Eagles in this spot.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think it's going to be a bad game by Jared Goff. I see some turnovers, little small hands returns. What I do think, though, is that the Lions can run the ball, and that's their only path to victory that I see. So that means I lean the under on this game. I think it's going to turn to a slugfest, as you said, bad weather. And with both of these teams and how popular they are with the public, when people see the Lions, they're automatically thinking over. So it's going to be so many over tickets put in. I think this ends up being like a 20-17 game, So I do lean with you with the Eagles on one side. But I think my favorite play on that game would be the under 46.5. And I just told you I rarely play unders, but I think that this one could turn to that type of situation just because, one, how the Eagles play. The Eagles, they just going to line up and they're going to get into a short situation, control the time of clock, and then they're going to run a tush push. That's what they're going to do. And they'll take their shots a couple times down the field to Smitty. And besides that, what they're doing. They're handing the ball off to Saquon Barkley, bro, and throwing to the tight end. So this one has a chance to kind of drag out, I believe, because I think that the Lions are going to know with the conditions, they can't get out there throwing the ball around because Jared Goff is a turnover machine in these type of conditions. It's not a good situation for him being outside in those conditions. So I lean the under on that one for sure. All right, man. We've been an hour and 30 minutes having a great time chopping it up with you guys in the community. It's time to get to the people segment, give you guys our best plays for the weekend. Ball and parlay. I'm going to let my guests go first. Who you got, Raheem?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the San Antonio Spurs. You can take the money line. You can lay the 2 or the 2.5. I think the Spurs win this game. This is just a prime revenge spot. I don't have any totals right now. I wish I had some totals because that's mostly what I've been playing. Haven't been playing a lot of sides, but I think the Spurs are the way to go. And then also, if you're looking for a prop, I think you can go with Giannis over on his points. I mean, Giannis has been sitting out for quite a while, but he should be able to get going against this Hornets team. So I go Giannis over points, but my best bet by far is the Spurs tonight.
So my boy likes the Spurs. You guys already know who I'm on. I'm playing Clemson Tigers tonight at +2, and I'm going to take them on the money line. That starts in about 15 minutes. I know you guys love to get a little tennis from me, so let me give you some quick tennis real fast. Let's go with a 2-leg parlay. We're going to go with my boy Carlito, little Charlie. We're going with Carlos Alcaraz. It's a heavy number at -600, but FAA has nothing for him at all. And we're going to put him together with, let's go with my guy, John Leonard Struff. Struff is playing much better than he's played in the past. He's in a situation where he should just be able to outpower Liam Brody. So they're playing in the finals, and Leon, indoor, big server. Let's go with a 2-teamer, man. Let's go with Alcaraz times Struff. It'll play 1-2, so you $200 win your 100. But I think that they're going to be both non-sweats, and that's what you always want to find. Raheem, tell them where to find you out, and just anything else you want to tell the people before we get out of here.
So you can find me on Twitter at I am Rostradamus, but we just got some brand new news. So interesting. Like you guys know, I work for the Ringer, Spotify. We have a Sunday show and Sunday NFL pregame show on YouTube. Now, for those of you who are in cities and states that have FanDuel Sports Network, our show is going to be airing on FanDuel regional sports networks. So let me see if I can get the list for you guys. If you guys are FanDuel Sports Network Detroit, FanDuel Sports Network Midwest, North Ohio, Southern California, South, Southwest, Sun, and Wisconsin. If you're watching like NBA, NHL games, you'll see the Ringer Gambling Show on there each and every day. You'll see them on Sunday for our NFL pregame show, and then you'll also see me personally. I have a Monday show and I have a Thursday show. So if you have FanDuel Sports Network in your city or your state, turn us on Sunday. Turn me on Monday and then turn me on Thursday and you'll see me. So just trying to do a lot of big things, Ringer Gambling Show on Spotify, on YouTube, and then, FanDuel Sports Network.
Man, we appreciate you so much. You represent for the culture in an area that a lot of us aren't in, and we appreciate what you do for everyone in the sports betting world. It's always good to see you up there with the big dogs rubbing shoulders and still hold it down and being yourself, man. That's
no doubt. Yeah, and thanks for having me on, man. It's always an honor to be on here with you. I mean, me and you, we just met probably like a month ago.
Right.
But I mean, it's been all love and you've been family ever since.
Man. Yeah, so, man, for real. We instantly connect, bro. We're very similar people, bro. And that's a real thing. Shout out to DS Griff. I appreciate you too, brother. I saw Shim. Where's my guy? Shim Lindsay said that he tried to reach out to me. Just DM me, Shim, or if you don't, just add me, bro, and I'll DM you, and we'll chop it up, bro. We'll talk about what you said. Hey, guys.
I got to shout out DS Griff. Me and him been going back and forth through here, but, it's all love, and I appreciate, bringing up the KD conversation. We're probably not going to agree, but it's still love. This
hey, you said what he said. I like that. He said we quick as Sugar Ray. That's my favorite movie. That's one of my top 5 Harlem Nights, man. Harlem Nights is one of my top 5 movies of all time. I just was watching Being Eddie, the Eddie Murphy documentary. If you guys haven't seen that on Netflix, man, go check that out. Eddie Murphy has had a phenomenal life. You'll be surprised at all of the stuff this man has done. Yeah, I got you, Shim. Hit me on, tag me if you can, DM me, brother, and we'll chop it up and we'll finish what you were talking about. But yeah, that was a really great show. And another one, all of us on here are bettors. Please go watch the Ballad of a Small Player. That's the name of it, but he's far from a small player on Netflix. It's based in Macau. I have never been to Macau. I've done a lot of traveling, but I just was telling my wife after we saw it, we're going to Macau this summer.
Yo, I want to go, dog. I want to go there.
Let's go this summer, bro. I was blessed enough to go to the south of France, to Saint-Tropez, and see how they gamble there. They got a strip over there too as well, where it's kind of like the Vegas Strip, but Macau makes Vegas look, oh man, it's like Vegas on steroids. Put it like that. They got the wind, they got all the stuff that you see in Vegas, but it's even more enlarged than what it is in Vegas. It's just an unbelievable visual that you get from watching that movie. So you guys go check out. It's a lot of lessons in there as well. It's called The Ballad of a Small Player. You guys know I love entertainment. I produce films, throw shows. I do all types of stuff besides the sports betting, man. But sports will always be my first love. I'm glad to be back with you guys today. I'm going to make sure to get back in here on Monday with Spread the Star, man. And I'm sure that me and Raheem will be back in here with you guys pretty soon, man. Hey, as always, I dedicate this show to the greatest Houston sports fan I know, and that's my father, John H. Lindsay. I do this for you, Dad. This is The Wagering World. It's always us versus the machine. You guys go to www.thewageringworld.com. Support. Go get some of that merchandise. We'll get with you guys soon. Peace.
No doubt. Yo, thanks for having